Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, February the 12th, 2024. Well, first and foremost, before we get into the recap, mark your calendars for Saturday, February 15th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is 7 p.m. Central time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be live on YouTube. We're going to be talking to each other live, talking about what we've liked the most from last month to this month. Where the story has moved. Has it moved in the direction we thought it would move into? What's going on? What do we like? What do we not like? What don't we want to see anymore? What do we want to see more of? So that's this Saturday. I will be reading your chats live on YouTube. So be there. You'll need to be subscribed, or you'll want to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, which is GH Spoilers YNR Today, so that you will see the notification. And make sure you ring the bell. There's a little bell, you click it. That way it'll tell you that we're going live, that we are live, hop on. It'll tell you all that great stuff. So I will see you all this Saturday. Now let's get into the episode today. Today we didn't have a whole lot going on. I mean, Jason definitely, remember, he walked into Charlie's and he saw Cyrus with his hand on his son, and he was, take your hands off my son. And Cyrus saw Jason, released him so Jason could see, my hands are coming off. Cyrus steps back because Jason stepping forward. Danny steps back over to where his father is. And Jason said, if you ever touch my son again, they will not be able to find your body. Whoa. Now, the bad thing is, but isn't that funny? It's what I said yesterday. He did it in a room full of people, right? Although it wasn't that full of a room, I think we had one random extra couple in there, that were extras that we don't know, crowd fillers. Isaiah was there. Christina was there. Elizabeth was there. Lucky was there. Kai, Trina, uh, Emma, and Jill. That's all that was there. So it wasn't all that many people. But look, you tell Emma anything, it's tell the world. You can't stand that girl. So anyway, Jason tells Danny, let's go. And they turn and walk out. Oh, and I forgot, Martin was there. So Martin comes over to Cyrus and he goes, what was that all about? What is going on? And Cyrus is picking up his I think his jacket, and he goes, let's go, let's just go. And he goes, Cy, I want to know. I want to know what's going on. Now Kai is looking at this because Trina had told them the story of what Cyrus had done to her mother, shot Curtis, I mean the whole 9 yards, before Danny came in, because Trina was looking at him like, and they're like, what's the story with that? And she told them, you see that man over there, blah, blah, blah. So Kai decides, and to me, this was so not needed. He walks over to Cyrus and Martin and said, I think it's best you leave. Cyrus looks at him, and Martin says, we are leaving. And he goes, good. He goes, because you're making people very uncomfortable here. I will buy your drinks. I will pay for your drinks, but it's just best that you leave. Cyrus looks at him like, for one, I don't even know who you are, youngin', right? And Kai is looking, because Kai's taller than Cyrus. He's looking down at him, and Cyrus kind of pushes his way past Kai because Kai's standing in the way. I'm thinking, you want him to leave, then move out the way. right? Goodness. So Martin says, no, no, let's go. Look, okay, let's just go, brother. We're leaving. We're leaving. So they get outside, and Martin says, yeah, I think I said Cyrus says, but Martin was the one saying, let's just go, brother. We're leaving. We're leaving. Martin says, okay, Cyrus. Okay, now stop. Wait, just stop. What is going on? What is this I don't know about? Why is he saying that, talk about Daddy, you killed his mother and we need to be going to the police to file a complaint against Jason Morgan because he threatened you publicly in a room full of people. And so Cyrus says, no, I'm not going to the police. That's not what I'm going to do. And Martin is like, why? Why am I more upset about a threat on your life than you are? And he goes, because I've done a lot of things in my life, brother, and I'm not that person, and I choose peace. And he turns and he walks away. And I'm thinking, really? No, you choose to kill another person, right? So Martin is like, he don't know what's going on. Martin ends up going to the PCPD. Now Anna has Josh brought in, but I'll get into that later. I'm just kind of carrying Martin's storyline, so I have to get back to him. Martin goes to Anna and says, I need you. I'm here to file a complaint against Jason Morgan. He publicly threatened my brother Cyrus at a bar in front of a room full of people. And so Anna says, okay, did he, I mean, what was happening that made him, he goes, no, no, I am sick of you defending Jason Morgan. He goes, either you're something like, either you're the commissioner or you're his accomplice, right? And Anna just looks at him like, oh, shoot, the way I am acting, he might be right. So, and Martin's like, you need to do your job. So, here's the thing. Jason told him to get his hands off his son because Cyrus did have his hands on his son. Even though his son came in spouting off, but Danny wasn't touching Cyrus, but Cyrus had his hands on Danny. Even though it was under the rules of praying for him, I'm telling you, I know what I was thinking, what kind of grip that was. He had that Vulcan death sleep grip on Danny. I have seen Mr. Spock do it time and time again on Star Trek. Seriously. He grabs him right there, right here, with his thumb, pushes in, they go out like a light. That's where I saw that before. Mr. Spock, right? So look, I'm a Star Trekkie, everybody. Loved, loved, loved Star Trek. Still do, right? But not so much the new, and I'm getting off track, not so much the new versions of it, but every version that had a Captain Kirk and a Spock in it. Love those. Whether it's movies, TV show, love them. But anyway, that's what where I said no, that's a defensive, debilitating move that Cyrus was really doing. And you would have to know it to know what he was doing, right? So that complaint that Martin is filing wouldn't go anywhere. Jason didn't pull a gun on Cyrus. Jason didn't even step to Cyrus. Cyrus was the one that had his hands on Jason's son. So you go for that complaint, Martin. Diane will laugh you out of court or anything, seriously, with that complaint. But Anna will probably have to make a show of doing something, with Jason. So now let's get back on track. Jason takes Danny home. Sasha comes out, and you know what? I'm wondering, is she pregnant in real life? I didn't read that, but she seems to be actually physically gaining weight from her. Like she's looking like she did with her other pregnancies because she was pregnant in real life on the show a couple times. So anyway, she comes into the kitchen because he brought Danny into the kitchen, and she was bringing a bag. And Jason says, "Oh, I'm glad you." Sasha says, "Oh, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're safe." And she puts the bag down, and she was getting ready to walk out the kitchen so they could talk. And Jason says, "Actually, Sasha, can you stay? I think you need to be here for this." So Sasha says, "Sure." So they step outside onto the patio. Now, in the Quartermain house, is that good or is it bad? Outside on the patio is almost like out at the boathouse, but at least it's not in the kitchen where anybody could be around that corner hearing them talk. Okay. So they take Danny outside and he goes, okay. He goes, Sasha, he goes, you know, Sasha's pregnant, right? And Danny says, yeah. And Jason said, and people think I'm the father. He goes, this family and others think I'm the father. And Danny said, you aren't, are you? And Jason said, no. And Danny says, oh, good. He goes, no, no, like, no offense, but good. Right? And so he goes, I am just helping Sasha out. Okay. It's a, you know, sticky situation, or it's a, I forget the word he used for it, situation, right? And Sasha says, Jason is just being an incredible good friend to me. And one of the things he insisted, Jason said, is that you know the truth. And Danny looked at him and he goes, well, thanks. You know, like, I really appreciate that. Thank you, right? And so he goes, well, can I ask one question? Sasha, who is your baby's father? And so Sasha says, you know, Danny, that's the only thing I can't tell you because I promised I'm doing this to protect the father's privacy because I have chosen to raise this baby on my own. Right? Now, if the writers were thinking about this whole scenario of I'm choosing to keep my baby's actual father, his privacy, well, why would you feel my father's privacy needs to be invaded? That statement makes no sense because you want to raise this baby on your own, but yet everybody thinks my daddy is your baby daddy. Danny should have looked a little puzzled, right? Because I'm a little puzzled that she still, well, that the rationality is the real father, you know, protecting his privacy. Because, see, any adult hearing that would say, oh, okay, so Michael's the father. You know, that's what, okay. So Jason says, now listen, we need to keep this between us. And Danny says, well, who knows? Jason says, only me, you, and Sasha. And it needs to stay that way. Do you understand? And he looked and he kind of felt like, oh, I'm important enough to be in the know. He goes, no, I understand. Oh, no, no problem. I understand. And I thought, okay, that's making him feel important. That's making him feel like he's trusted, right? His father's brought him in his inner circle. So, I mean, I was cool with the way that conversation went, as irrational as it sounded. I was cool with it. So Danny says, you know what? I better go find Rocco because he knows Rocco will be pacing a hole in the floor somewhere. Okay. So Jason looks at Sasha. Sasha goes, thank you for that, Jason. And he goes, okay, no problem. Look, I got to go. She goes, Jason, wait. I hope you're not going after Cyrus, Renault. And he looks at her like, girl, I take out who I want to take out. you know? She said, because Jason, I need you to stop and I need you to think about Danny. If anything happens, because from what it sounds like, how she knew, I don't know. If anything happens to Cyrus, Danny's going to know you did it. And that's going to change everything between your relationship. You know, you want to keep the respect you have that your son has for you, right? Because realistically, I don't know. Danny does know his father's an enforcer, I think. Yeah, Jason was shot. Didn't Danny ask him, have you ever killed somebody? And didn't Jason say, but they deserved it? I don't know. I may be mixing in a movie somewhere. right? You know what, everybody in comment corner, talk a little bit because I want to read this and I want to hear what you got. Or you know what? We'll talk about that on Saturday. I'm going to make a little note. Talk about how much does Danny know about Jason? Yeah, save that. Save that for our live chat on Saturday. I want to really get into that with you all, okay? So he looks at her, he goes, yeah, like, uh, okay, but I gotta go. And so she stopped him again and she said something else to him that kind of made him stop and pause a bit. And I think she kind of got through to him, right? Because you're going to be the first person that they're going to look for. And Danny needs you. You know, she almost said something Sam would have said, right? So, needless to say, they're doing a friendship between Sasha and Jason. Okay. Now we have in these pictures Cyrus. Lucky is shutting the place down. He's cleaning up, the last little table. And Elizabeth's still there on the bar stool. I really like Elizabeth and Lucky. They are my favorite couple right now. I liked the old Jack Brennan actor and Carly, but I can't say once Lucky and Liz's chemistry is just ignited like it had never stopped. Like 10 years had not gone by, right? They fit so well together as a GH couple. So, anyway, she's sitting at the bar drinking on her wine. And I'm thinking, girl, you're making that wine look so good. I could go for a glass right now. So, anyway, a song, their song, because we're starting to get, and I'm liking that about General Hospital. They used to have songs for the couples. So when the couple was together, kind of their theme song would come on. And you're like, uh-oh, they getting ready to kiss, or uh-oh, they getting ready to hit the sheets. You knew the theme. And that song came on, and Elizabeth said, did you put this song on? And he stood up from wiping the table and he listened and he turned to her and he goes, I did not. I said, look at him. That I did not, I don't know, was convincing enough to me. And he says, but however, The last time this song played, we got interrupted. So he put out his hand. Shall we? She puts her wine glass down on the bar counter and she stood up. She's still in her little nurse scrubs, in her coat. And she, you know, went into his arms and they're dancing. And I thought, oh man, they look so cute together. And guess who's peering in the window of Charlie's? Cyrus. Now, my thing is this. Did you come back because you thought Elizabeth might still be there? Because how did he know Elizabeth would be hanging around while Lucky closed? Or was he hanging around to talk to Lucky? But I think he's hanging around. He's creeping. He's stalking Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth's gonna be in danger. Her and Josslyn, and probably Portia, but her and Josslyn gonna be in danger. So that was interesting and creepy because he's completely switched, of course, to bad Cyrus. He always was, but for some reason he was misguided, thinking he's the angel of death, an angel, as in he's good. Okay, so now we have when Kai came back, everybody they were like, Kai, what were you thinking? He's a dangerous man. He goes, it was he needed to leave. He was making you feel uncomfortable. And I'm thinking, oh, shut up, Kai. You don't know what you're dealing with. And so Emma says, okay, well, now that he's gone, let's talk some more about, the human animal testing or animal testing. And Trina looked at Emma and Kai kind of looked at Emma and Geo said, you know what? Can I speak to you for a minute? You know, over there. So she goes, sure. And he goes, Emma, can you read the room? And she says, what are you talking about? Trina was clearly upset. Why would you turn this right back to you? Are you that self absorbed? And she looked at him and she says, I know Trina was upset. And I was trying to help her out. And I'm thinking, girl, you lying through your teeth. 100% you're lying. Right? She goes, I was trying to change the subject. I was trying to get her mind off of what had happened. And Gio looked at her. She goes, did you ever think I was trying to help? And he goes, I didn't think about it that way. And she goes, of course you didn't. And I'm thinking, because of course that wasn't her intention. She was self-absorbed. Right? I'm thinking, oh my God, am I going to have to suffer through Emma Drake? Can't stand it. It's needless to me. 100% that it's a needless story. It's a needless everything. So anyway, now we got Josslyn. She's still doing her Bobby's thing. She's actually good at running Bobby's. Josslyn's very good at it. So Lulu comes in. She's reminiscing about how, she grew up in the restaurant with her dad talking to her aunt. And, they both were, at some one point, Luke had it, one point, Bobby had it, and then the whole 9 yards. I can remember when Mike, Sonny's dad, was pretty much managing Bobby, Charlie, Kelly's back then. But anyway, they talked a bit, reminiscing, and she goes, at some one point, she goes, I probably should have got a job here instead of deception. At least I would have been doing, something from the Spencer family. And so Josslyn looked and she smiled at her, and then Dex came in. Now Dex came in because they bought the super from Cyrus's building in, and they were questioning him about, Cyrus's activity. And he goes, no, he's quiet. He's, a little, keeps to himself a lot, little peculiar, But he keeps to himself. He doesn't cause any trouble. So Chase said, does he have any visitors? And he goes, no, except for last week. And Chase says, what do you mean last week? There was this young girl, blonde, early 20s. She said she worked with Cyrus at the whatever the name of the little foundation he's working for. And Chase looks at him. Hmm. So then Chase goes off scene. That's when we go out to Anna outside, and this is where Anna's outside. So he comes over to Anna, and she goes, did the super give you any information? And he goes, yes, he did. And she goes, okay, what? Cyrus had a visitor. She goes, oh, really? Who? Young, early 20s. Well, not a visitor. Well, yeah, a visitor. Early 20s. She says she worked with him at, through the little mission deal. He let her in to Cyrus's apartment because Cyrus was supposed to have left something for her. And Anna looked. She goes, let me guess. Josslyn Jacks. And Chase shakes his head, yes. So she goes, go bring Josslyn in. I need to speak to her. So Chase goes and gets Josslyn. And Lulu is there. And she goes, I need to take you down to the PCPD for questioning. And Josslyn says, look, I'm the only one running this place. And, so Lulu says, hey, I can handle it. She goes, are you sure? And she goes, yeah. Like, how hard could it be? And I thought, well, doggone, Lulu, I'm pretty up on things. Me, daily recap lady. And I can't walk into any coffee house, diner, small mom and pop, nothing off the cuff and say, hey, I got this. I can run this joint. Especially one as small as that, where you are the waitress and sometimes the cook. Okay. You would have to know the menu and how to come. And I thought, well, that's going to be a disaster. So Josslyn says, look, this shouldn't take too long. I hope. Right? Lulu says, go. I got this. So anyway, they bring Josslyn in and Anna's talking to her. And Anna's telling her, Josslyn, you're playing a dangerous game. And she's telling him, you illegally entered Cyrus Renault's apartment. And Josslyn looked at her, said, really? She says, yes, the super says a young girl in her early 20s, blonde hair, said you worked with Cyrus on, she said the name of the little charity, right? And he let you in. Josslyn says, I am not the only young blonde person in this city. That could have been anyone. And I thought, look at Carly Jr. She might even be a little more stonewallish than her mama, right? At her mama's age. Well, her mama was that age. So Anna said, yeah, but the difference is he picked you out. He photo ID'd you. So it was you, Josslyn. What are you thinking? Not only is that illegal, breaking and entering. She goes, well, it's actually not breaking and entering if the super lets you in. That's what Josslyn is telling Anna. And Anna says, it is illegal entry or trespassing, something, it was some real term, right? Because you lied to get in and you did not have the permission of the tenant. So Anna, whatever legal term, I can't remember what it was, Anna said, she goes, oh, That's chargeable. So Josslyn looked at her. So she goes, now, am I going to have to call Diane? Or are you going to, what was the alternative? Are you going to give me some answers and admit what you've been, tell me what you've been up to? And Josslyn looks at her and said, no. Josslyn says, am I going to need to call Diane? And Anna says, you know what? Call Diane because I'm booking you for illegal entry. And Dex is walking in at the, not Dex, oh my God. Chase is walking in and he hears it. She goes, give her the phone so she can call her attorney because we're booking her. And Chase says, Commissioner, please, can I talk to her first? And Anna says, whatever, do what you want. But she's getting booked, and Anna shuts the door. Anna was being more bad cop there because she don't want to have to arrest Josslyn, right? But something needs to get into Josslyn's head because Anna said, you are going to get yourself killed messing with him, right? So my whole thing is when Anna walks out, who should she call? I'm sorry. You call Jason when you think you saw a spider on the wall. You know? Call Jason. Or call the girl's mama, even though she's an adult. She knows how Carly reacts to things, right? And if Carly knew what her daughter was doing, how do you think Carly would react? But for sure, if Jason knew, how would Jason react? But Josslyn is so hard headed, she would kind of shine Jason on, pretend like she's listening. But Carly would get in her behind. Josslyn would still be hard headed, but Carly would give her a hard way to go behind it, right? If anybody has any chance of getting through to Josslyn, it's her mother. But anyway, Chase is going to talk to her and think he's gotten through to her and convince Anna not to book her, of course. We know that that's going to happen. I already know that, right? So now Christina and Isaiah were talking, which was interesting because Isaiah's learning more about Christina because in his mind he's thinking, I know your father's, you know, 2 heart episodes away from a massive heart attack and kicking the bucket, you know. And Christina was just randomly saying, yeah, today was a doozy day and blah, blah, blah. And it tells about her sister's, her little sister's mother. She goes, I was, 2 seconds away from, what did she say? From punching her sister's mother when Elizabeth saved her. Elizabeth came, talked her down and blah, blah, blah. Now, everybody, do you remember yesterday? Did it look like Christina was getting ready to deck Ava? Didn't it look to you, me, and everybody else that Christina was kind of just standing there stunned, not knowing what to do when Ava was going to take Avery? Which was kind of shocking me. Christina didn't spring into action and do anything. But I was 2 seconds away from kicking somebody's behind. No, girl, you didn't know what to do. Now, after Rick took Ava away, that's when Christina started all out talking. She should never see all this that she shouldn't have been saying in front of her little sister. Thank goodness Avery was over there. But see, then you were bad. Well, then you were tough. And my father, okay, then you were, but no, don't make it like you were ready to jump back, Christina. I'm gonna do nothing. Now sit down. So anyway, that struck me as funny that she said that because that's not what happened. Now, anyway, of course, Lulu's, and I'm just going to quickly mention this. She was over her head. We all knew it. She was giving people the wrong food, burning toast. Dante comes in. He offers to help. First, she told him, no, I got this. Then she realized, no, I don't have this. So he's helping her. It was kind of funny. They end up kind of laughing because she burns the toast. Smoke is all in the place, in the back area because told the cook she could go on break. And she's like, I think I got egg in my hair and I haven't served any eggs. And so they're starting to laugh. And Dante said that was the first time he laughed since Sam died. And he was saying he actually felt kind of guilty because he doesn't want to move on, from Morning Sam. So, but anyway, that was that. And we have now. I'm gonna wrap this up with Nina. Everybody, we all knew Nina was not gonna tell Willow. And at this point, how she wimped out, I thought, see, Carly, this is why I don't like Carly working with Nina. Nina is gonna try to make Carly the fall girl. And I don't like that. So as she's getting ready to tell Willow, Tracy walks in. Tracy does a Cody. Tracy goes in on Willow. Now, for the reason that we were all talking about, why is Willow still wearing Lila's ring? Tracy told her, that ring that's still on your finger was my mother's ring. Take it off. Woohoo! And Willow's just looking at her, and Tracy is, slurring her around, harlot and everything, whatever she's calling her, right? I want that ring back. Well, Alexis walks in, and Nina is looking up at Tracy. Alexis walks in and says, Tracy, our table is ready. Let's go right now. And Tracy says, I'm not. She goes, yeah, I'm not finished talking to Willow. She goes, yes, you are finished. You finished. Come on, Tracy. So she takes her to the table and she sits her down. And actually, Nina may have said, you can't talk to my daughter that way, and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, I'll talk to her anyway, or whatever. I think Nina did pipe in because Willow told her, thanks for trying to defend me, or whatever. Um, Alexis told her, you need to calm down. You need to stop going after Willow. She goes, I wasn't going after Willow. I just commented that she has my mother's ring and I want it back. Tracy says, that's not all, and that's not what I heard when I walked through the door, Tracy. And Tracy just looked at her. She goes, now, Alexa, and Tracy's kind of like, I don't care what you heard. She goes, Tracy, you owe me. And Tracy looked at her and says, I owe you. She goes, yeah, you owe me for trying to get me sent to jail when you framed me for driving drunk when I wasn't. So Tracy kind of looked like, yeah, I did do that, didn't I? She goes, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll leave Willow alone. She goes, and then when I leave her alone, will we be even? And Alexis says, if you live up to your end of the bargain. She goes, because let me tell you what's at risk. If you don't leave her alone, Willow is going to take my grandchildren away. And I'm saying she could leave the state with Drew if you don't leave her alone. She says, I have lost too much. I have lost their mother. I'm not going to lose them. You need to leave her alone. And Tracy looked at Alexis and said, you're right, you have lost a lot. And I will. I will lay off of Willow. And she goes, Tracy. No, she goes, no, I will. I know how to restrain myself or something like that. And Tracy just looks at her. She goes, yeah, well, you see that you do. So now we get back to Willow and Nina. And she's saying that, thanks for trying to stick up with me, but I'm used to this. Everybody, they look at me, they want to yell at me. They want to, they say I'm a horrible person. I'm beginning to think I am what everybody says that I am. See, don't think Willow's so innocent. Willow can emotionally manipulate you. Because what's the first thing that came out of Nina's mouth? No, no, you are not. She goes, a horrible. She goes, I'm beginning to think I'm what everybody says I am, a horrible person. No, 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 Willow. You are not a horrible person. You have a good heart. See, that's what she said to Chase. And what did Chase say? Same thing. You're a good person. You have a good heart. She goes, you are a good mother. And Willow's just looking at her mother, sing her praises. And I am proud to be your mother. Thank you. And I'm like, oh, see, chick, everybody thinks you're so innocent. No, you're not. You just manipulated that whole situation. Where Nina, it's like an emotional blackmail. She wants to see how much are you vested in building her up and excusing her bad behavior. And so she says, throughout all of this, you're right. I'm going to start sticking to my own mind and not letting others influence it. She says, and I'm going to tell you how important you have been through this whole ordeal. You have stood by me. I did not know. I know how I pushed you away before, but I did not know how much I needed my mother. She puts her hand across the table, and Nina's like, oh. And Nina reaches her hand over there. She goes, how much I need you, Mom. I said, slam dunk, slam dunk. Nina's not going to say a doggone thing. What I thought Willow was going to say, one thing I did come to realize, why am I wearing this ring? Why? Willow needed to take that doggone ring off, walk over to the table where Tracy and Alexis were sitting and say, there's your mama's ring, and turn and walk away. Because that ring is a family heirloom. You give that thing back, right? She didn't think of giving that ring back, but Michael's gonna get it back. She's not gonna keep Lila's ring. I can tell you that right now. But anyway, so she goes, oh wait, before Tracy came in and interrupted us, you were about to tell me something. And Nina goes, oh, oh, it's not important. And I'm like, uh-huh. Don't say you'll do anything to break up Willow and Drew. Willow says, I know what you were about to tell me. And Nina says, oh, and what was that? She goes, that you're beginning to see Drew the way I see Drew. You're beginning to see why either I've fallen in love with Drew or why I'm with Drew. And Nina looks, and I said, okay, what you gonna say? That chick says, exactly. And I said, you know what? Now, not that I have respect for Nina. I'm never like Nina. Everybody knows I'm not a Nina fan, right? But in this case, you want to do everything you can to open your daughter's eyes to this man, right? But what do you do when your daughter says, now you see him the way I see him? At worst or at best, Nina should have said, actually, no, no, that wasn't quite what I was thinking. You know, that wasn't what I was thinking. But it's not important what I was going to say, honey. I was thinking maybe we could order pizza for dinner or something. Come on now. You don't let her go with, now you've given us her the blessing, the go ahead to be with Drew because you think Drew's a good guy. None of that came close to coming out of Nina's mouth. How Willow? See, what did I say about manipulating? Willow was manipulating that situation, right? Because I couldn't have got that from Nina's face at all. How Willow threw that up, I don't know. But then she goes, and you know what? I'm going to call Martin and give him the go ahead to look up dirt on Michael. And Nina just looks because, see, she knows what that's going to ooh, when Carly find out, oh, no, 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 all bets are off. Your daughter is trying to get dirt on my son, but you want me to help break up your daughter and Drew. Mm-mm. That ain't flying. That ain't flying. Anyway, everybody, I've talked long enough on GH. I'm going to go to comment corner. Today, I went from the middle. I scrolled down, scrolled on my mouse, scrolled on my mouse, scrolled down on my mouse, and I let it stop. And since I talked a little long on the recap today, I was a little wordy, y'all. I'm going to only read about 5 minutes of comment corner, especially since we're doing a live YouTube live this weekend. So let's go. I stopped right here on Aisha. Aisha says, I don't remember if it was Martin or another lawyer who represented Nina when she sued for access to Wiley. But whoever it was already has a file of dirt on Michael and Willow too, of course. And so Just K says it was Scotty at the time, Scott Baldwin. They do have dirt on Michael. Use the same old dirt. But that same old dirt probably wouldn't be good enough because it wasn't good enough to get Nina the visitation. Or did it? I don't even remember how that went. Just K said thanks to Aisha. And then we have Lucy says, Comment Corner live stream here Saturday, February 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. You got the Pacific Time wrong. It's 5 p.m. Pacific Time because we are 2 hours behind Central Time. So 5 p.m. Pacific. Excellent. I want to see you there, Lucy, and I want to hear some comments from you. Gara Bell says Sasha is such a hypocrite, keeping the baby from Michael because she feels it's too dangerous. But Jason, a known mob hitman, is a better option. Exactly. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Angel says, yes, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more on that one. Me too. Claire says, it is correct. Why is Sasha so concerned about Michael's family, but not Hitman Jason? I love Sasha and Jason. I am so tired of the lies. We all know it will come out, but Jason will be so invested in the baby, and Sasha, no, it's going to come out way before then. It's going to come out before Sasha has that baby. People are going to be hurt when the truth comes out that it's Michael's baby. No, because the divorce will be done. That truth they're only trying to do till the divorce is done. It'll be done. Once Michael comes home, it'll be his baby. Lucy says, I don't believe Jason really wants to play baby daddy to Sasha. He's doing it for Michael, whom he would do anything in the world for, which is true. I mean, it's easily said. Bottom line, Michael's divorce is final. Everything is settled because he is going to be amicable to Willow, right? Everything will be set. He comes back and he claims the baby. All he has to do is say, let's get a paternity test. She could say, I thought it was Jason's. Slept with both y'all. I slept with you and your uncle. No, that won't work. Oh my God, that won't work. So, no, it'll be Jason was doing it to protect Michael. That's the way it'll come out. Jason will never say he slept with Sasha, right? And Angel says, you are splitting nothing but straight facts right here, right now. I am said, Avery lives with Carly and visits her parents. That is so true. Avery and Donna right now are living with the nannies, even though Josslyn is really stepping up. And I'm happy with that. Josslyn and Lucas helping out when Carly's going back and forth. So you know what, y'all? Let's talk about Carly real quick. We were all wrong about her taking a vacation, right? Some time away from the soap. She did say that rumor was not true. She wasn't lying. Because when she was in Germany, guess what we saw? Carly in Germany. When she came back home, guess what we saw? Carly back home, right? So I am says, love Jason. And then Willow forgot that Jason and Sam saved her and Christina from the cult. He even got her into a fake, uh, her fake mama's, owing to her fake mama's behind. Willow makes me sick, I know. Um, IRT Production says absolutely. She has selective memory loss. Just K says as long as it makes everyone else look bad, she doesn't care. She wants to look good in front of everyone. And then Karen says Jason uh, did make a threat. He said, touch my son again, and they won't be able to find your body. Also loved what Nina told Willow. You start out telling a lie to serve you, but after a while, you end up serving the lie. That was true. She did say that. And then Anthony says, too late for Sidwell. Um, he's all ready to strike again. And that's pretty much all I'm going to read from Comic Corner today, everybody. Thanks for Comic Corner. Let's keep your thoughts together for the topic of, well, I wrote it down. How much does Danny know about Jason? How much do you think he knows about his father? We're gonna really dive into that and talk about that. Um, I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of General Hospital.